Hi, I'm here to talk about K-pop Demon Hunters, which was a film that I was feeling curious about. And something that I do want to make clear is that there are a lot of really hyped up films that I'm not the biggest fan of. I'm not a huge fan of the Avengers films, even though I love Frozen so much. There are a lot of really popular Disney films that I don't like that much. And I feel like making that clear because K-pop Demon Hunter seems to be a pretty hyped up film, and in my opinion, K-pop Demon Hunters is a film that I feel like deserves being hyped up. It's a film that I actually feel like I agree with a lot of critics and audiences about. I thought the film had a lot of potential, but it was something I didn't know that much about. Um, and I didn't know how it would go. I was expecting to like it, and I thought there was potential that I could love it. But I was not expecting to love the film as much as I ended up loving it. K-pop Demon Hunters is amazing. Uh, the animation is something that does really stand out. Some of the best looking animation from a modern animated film. I think that it's the best looking animated film since Frozen 2 in 2019. And I feel like there's a lot of creativity with the expressions that the characters make and stuff like that. It's absolutely amazing to look at. However, the plot is so captivating, and there's some really good stuff with the characters that I feel like it's very much not just a visual thing. And the songs are fantastic, and I love listening to them, and they really stand out. There's so much style to the film, but I feel like there's a lot of really captivating, great stuff going on with the plot, character development, that kind of stuff, to the point where it feels like it's a film that earned having such great looking visuals and really catchy songs. Like I've seen plenty of films where the songs are a lot of fun and the visuals are so good that even though the plot isn't the most interesting thing, I still end up liking it. But the visuals stand out a lot more. But there are points where I feel more invested in the plot and what's going on with the main character than even the visuals. Although there are certainly times where the visuals are the big thing that stand out, and the animation is incredibly well done, wonderful. I felt very invested in the plot, and I feel like it's a good movie to avoid, like looking up a lot of stuff about the premise. I feel like being surprised about that. I feel like there could be a lot of fun with that, and there were some pretty big surprises that were really good. And K-pop Demon Hunters, there is the main group, the main trio. Although something that I like about it is it does feel very focused on one particular member of the group, Rumi. She is very much the main focus, where a lot of the character development goes to her. The film feels like it's very much through her point of view, and I actually really like that. And it felt like a very intimate film focused on the specific character of Rumi, and in my opinion, she's easily the best character in the film, one of the best protagonists of a film that I've seen in a while. She's incredibly sympathetic, multi layered character that has a very upsetting backstory, and she feels very bad about something that really doesn't feel like it's her fault, but it's very difficult, and it's very understandable why she'd feel the need to hide it. But the film also explores that Being your true self is really good, and there's lots of profound stuff about morality and redemption and doing what's right. So there's lots of really good stuff with her. Um, and the other two members have a lot of fun moments. The one that's on more on the cynical side, I think, is a really fun character. She's really cool, and I really like the tension between her and Rumi, where their differences do clash, but it's very clear they care about each other, and I feel like they do a very good job of keeping the more cynical one likable and understandable interactions. I feel like she's a character that could have easily been annoying or unlikable, but she's actually great. Um, I was concerned because there did seem to be a bit of a romance story going on with the character, and I feel like that could have easily been really cliche, really boring, because I feel like romance storylines tend to be really hit or miss in films. But what goes on there, and I want to give a lot away, but it ends up being really interesting and actually emotionally captivating. I actually felt invested in where things were going, and the guy that Rumi has a bunch of interactions with is actually a very complex character that feels very multi-layered. It feels like he's not just there to be somebody for the main character to have feelings for. He feels like a really interesting character. The villain um, has a very intimidating presence. Very cool character. The manager character provides some good comedy relief to the film. Um, there's a character that I think is like an adopted mother to Rumi. She's a pretty interesting character. Uh, it's a very good ensemble of characters while also feeling very much focused on the main protagonist, and I feel like that's great. Um, and I feel like the plot is incredibly captivating, one of the more interesting plots that I've seen in a while, and I was feeling impressed throughout. Like, I feel like that was one of the main emotions that I was experiencing while watching the film, was feeling impressed, being in awe of what I was seeing. Uh, Character development wise, what was going on with the main girl, Rumi, and what was going on with the visuals and the large amount of really good songs. It's such a well done film, and it's easy after I see a film that I really love a lot to really jump to conclusions. There was a time where I was constantly changing my opinion about favorite films and stuff like that. So I don't want to make anything too grand right away, but something that I do feel confident about is that K-pop Demon Hunters is one of the best films of the 2020s so far, in my opinion. Um, and I think I need time to reflect and think about, where it falls and certain things. But when it comes to 2020s, it's up there with my favorites that have really stuck with me, such as Wolfwalkers, the Christopher Reeve documentary, and because I'm such a big Blues Clues fan, Blues Big City Adventure, um, I feel like it's up there with films like that, and films like Beetlejuice, and The Flash, and films like that, and some of the best looking visuals. I do think that it's easily one of the most visually well done films of the decade, but also on a story level, one of the most interesting stories. And Rumi is easily, at the very least, one of the best protagonists from a film in a while. I can definitely see her becoming one of my favorite film protagonists in general, but I definitely want time to reflect on things. But what I do know, what I do feel confident about, is that I love K-pop Demon Hunters. I actually feel like it's a film that has earned the big amount of popularity and hype that it has gotten. I think it very much is as good, I feel like, as the hype has been implying. I love the film so much.